Why is it that only 3% of our profession have reached seven-figure practices? Well, it's because it's a lot of work getting to seven figures, and there is a direct connection between success and stress. And in this video, I'm going to give you 4 great tips on how to handle that stress so that you can skyrocket your success with manageable stress. And stay tuned to the end because tip number 4 is a game changer. Let's do this. So tip number 1 is understanding where stress comes from. Think about any business and the amount of moving parts that go into making a business function. There's been a common thread within our profession about everybody has to be cross-trained. Every team member goes through the same training, but think about this for a second. When there is an emergency, we can't have everybody looking around waiting for somebody else to take action. That would be like walking up to somebody who needs CPR. The very first thing that you do is clearly point to somebody and say, go call 911. You don't say, somebody call 911. Well, we compare this to the practice of what we call the daily whirlwind. The daily whirlwind is when we're in flow of handling patients, phones are ringing, patients are waiting to be treated. That's the whirlwind. Well, when we need to increase the flow of that, we have to have a team that is so well trained that they understand their primary responsibility. That way they know that they step up and handle the phones or handle the patients being put on care. Now, if they don't have an immediate crisis, then they step in for the cross-training and support the primary team member who is responsible for that role. It's a very different training scenario, and it has changed the lives of our practice owners because they're now not feeling the stress of the practice. They're not worried about a patient not being taken care of or a phone not being answered because we have team that are clear. They're clear on their primary role. Do you get that right? Your stress levels are going to come down and it's going to change your world. Now I want to give you a free gift just for watching this video today, and it's a brand new guide that I just got done working on called How to Grow Your Practice with Two-Way Texting. This is how we support your front desk with scripts that they can use immediately, increasing efficiencies in communications with your practices. This is going to help you reduce canceled appointments, increase new patient conversions. You're going to want this guide. So just comment below, new patient guide, please, and we will make sure we get that to you. And for faster delivery of that guide, just DM me directly on Facebook, and I will make sure that you get that guide dropped into your inbox. The next stress that I want to help reduce in your practice is what we call financial stress. After working with so many of our practices, we have found this pattern where most practice owners have not nailed down their MVOO. It's their minimum viable operating overhead. Now, we all kind of cringe when we have to think about budgets, right? Nobody likes to have to put together a budget. But there is a number that you need to know, and that is this: what am I committed to spending in the practice? Like every month, we have to meet this number before we turn profitable. Well, this is understanding the financial systems that we have built for practices, and it's called the Profit Dashboard. It's a beautiful dashboard that allows you to see exactly how you're doing on your spend in your practice. When you can see all of that laid out in real time, oh man, it helps you have awareness. And when we can build systems around it to create the cash flow that you need to know that on the 13th of the month, we clear that number. On the 10th of the month, we clear that number. Maybe it's not till the 25th of the month that you're clearing that number, and that's when things get stressful. I want you to know your magic day, the day when we clear that MVOO. And when you do, that stress level is going to come down dramatically. And you need a financial system in place that makes money coming in very easy and money going out a little harder. So there's a system in place of how we spend money, not just run it on the credit card. Yep, go ahead and buy that. Like, we need it, so buy it. That's creating trauma to your financial systems, which again is stress. So follow the financial system of understanding your MVOO, get your data dashboard in place, have your profit dashboard to see those numbers in real time, and have a system in place of how money gets spent that you control. Reduce this financial stress, your life is going to be glorious. Now, if you love this kind of content, make sure you're smashing that like button, subscribe to our channel. That helps us reach more chiropractors out there and help empower them to grow their practices because we're a community. So subscribe, turn on notifications so I can deliver you incredible content on a weekly basis to support you in your cause and your mission. The third stress that I want to help you reduce in your practice is what we call team stress. Have you ever been in the practice where at the end of the day you feel like you literally just ran a marathon while everybody else was kind of just standing on the sidelines cheering you on? That is not a team, and that is not going to create your dream practice. Your dream practice is when you've all run the marathon together every step of the way. And the way that we do that is having a cadence of accountability. In your practice, the team needs to come together every day to review the day and any barriers or roadblocks in that day. How do we make today successful? What are the opportunities of the day that we need to capitalize on? We want team members who own their systems, who are accountable to delivering a product to the practice. And when you get that right, at the end of every day, we celebrate together rather than feeling like you just climbed a mountain while everybody else cheered you on. To help you regulate the stress of the day, I want you to think about PIs. These are personal interactions that you should be focusing on engaging with your team. These are intentional interactions, not just passing them by, giving them a high five or saying hello. This is engaging with them intentionally about their product that they're producing for the practice. When you get intentional about those interactions, personal interactions, we start to create a cadence of those interactions daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly. Those interactions have intention behind them to support the team member. When they feel supported, they feel empowered. And your role as the practice owner, as the leader of this practice, is to empower them. Now, someday we want to help you get there to your provider evolution, to where you get to the clinic director and you have a team member, an office manager who takes on that role. They take that off your plate, and now they become the developer and supporter of your team. But if you're not there yet, you have to be intentional about these personal interactions and making sure that the cadence is clear. If you have that kind of communication with your team, not only do they feel less stress, you will feel less stress because you're getting regular communication with them about their performance. Reducing that stress is another incredible key to helping you deal with the overall stress of running a business. This brings us to tip number 4. I told you I saved the best for last, and this changed my life as an operator in a practice, and it's understanding productivity bandwidth. I want you to think of a cup. The cup is the capacity to hold volume. How full the cup is determines how much is in the cup. So think about that with you. You have large capacity to handle a lot because you're the practice owner, you've built this thing. Your team members, as they come into your practice, will have varying sizes of cups. When I'm hiring somebody, I kind of want to ping them on their past ability to handle volume, to handle stress, because that gives me some idea if I'm handling a 44-ounce size big gulp or if I'm getting a little dinner cup. I want to know, what am I getting? Now, the workload, the productivity is the volume of work that's going through that team member that they're handling on a regular basis, daily, weekly, and monthly. For you, depending on the role that you're playing, if you're the treatment provider, this is the volume of treatments that are coming across your plate, the amount of chart notes that you're doing. When is the time for you to focus on marketing and work on content creation? All of these things land on your plate, and when the list piles up, you better have pretty big bandwidth. And you need to be aware of how full that bandwidth is, because the more full the bandwidth, the more stress you're gonna feel. The problem is when your workload exceeds your capacity. And this is where water starts dripping and spilling out of the cup, and it keeps getting poured in, but it can't hold anymore. And that's when things start falling off your and my plate. Well, you gotta also think about that for your team. Are we pushing so much through a small capacity team member that things are falling off their plate? Or are they a really capable team member and we just keep offloading onto them the things that are falling off our plate, so now it's falling off of their plate because we've overburdened a large capacity team member. Productivity bandwidth is key in assessing in your organization why work's not moving forward. Why do we feel like we're stuck? We're stuck because things are falling off our plate. Work's not getting done to move the organization forward, and so the operational bandwidth within the practice may not be optimized. Well, in our systems, we have a regular cadence that helps you rate this, to become aware of this and exactly what to do when we're dealing with a low bandwidth team member. How do we handle that? How do we manage the stress? These 4 tips in helping you reduce stress in your organization are the keys to getting to 7 figures and beyond. It is the very things that we work with our high-level clients on in building data-driven practices. And it's why their lives have completely changed. It's why they're now taking their dream vacations. It's why they're able to work less, earn more. So if you want to be a part of that, we have an incredible event coming up, which is called the Data-Driven Mastermind in Paradise, where we're going to show you these systems. It's the systems to set you free. If you want more information about an all-inclusive experience to come be with us, mastermind with us, grow with us, so just comment below Paradise. And our team will reach out to you and get you more information. And really, for faster information, just DM me at .Cory on Facebook, and we'll make sure to get you all the information that you need. And who knows, maybe you and I can hang out in paradise.